Hi, I'm Matt Taylor. I'm the founder and CEO at Tracksmith, and I'm going to give you a little tour of our home on Newbury Street. We actually took this floor in 2015 for a pop-up for the Boston Marathon. Space was empty. We had this ground floor, brought in our product. We didn't have a lot back then. And then we left the space. And then 2 years later, when we were looking for our first permanent retail store and office, we came back and it was as we had left it. So we thought that was a good sign. So we took this space and the floor above us. Our office was upstairs. We turned this into the retail floor. And it's evolved quite a bit, but a lot of the things that existed back then are still here today. The floors, these lockers, some of the elements are exactly the same. So when we launched the brand, we had five items. These were two of them. Van Cortlandt singlet and shorts. These have pretty much stayed untouched for 11 years now. We obviously update colors. We did a fun sort of pinstriped version of that this year. Always do it in our classic navy and ivory and some other seasonal colors. So the other product that has been in the line for 11 years is our Gray Boy. So this is a cotton t-shirt originally was made entirely in Massachusetts. The fabric, the cut and sew, the screen printing. Unfortunately, our factory shut down. Now these are made in Pennsylvania. Fabric comes from North Carolina. We screen print locally. So those are three of the items that were around since day one and basically haven't changed much. I love the Gray Boy. I mean, I still run in. This is the same one. I have the first one of these we ever made, probably 11, 12 years ago. I still wear it a lot. I mean, you can't read the graphic, it's very worn, but these shirts, obviously if it's like super hot and you're doing something really intense, you don't want to be in a cotton t-shirt, but if you're going for 30 minutes and it's modest temperatures, they just get better with age. You wash them, wear them, sweat in them. So I love the Gray Boys. Yeah, just wanting to have a timeless aesthetic, something that could last for a long time. I think a lot of times in fashion, if you end up chasing sort of trends, graphics, prints, this stuff has a shelf life. And that Van Cortlandt singlet in navy and ivory, if we had one of the ones that we made 10 years ago, it could still be hanging up there and it would fit in the space, So just a classic aesthetic that's gonna be around for a long time and not feel dated or aged. This is the racer here, the runner's on the other side. So yeah, this is our super shoe. This is, very specific to running as fast as you can. It's got a carbon plate in here. Our approach is this really, really thick drop-in midsole with the best foam you can put in there basically. Yeah. So this is for when you want to run your fastest, what a lot of people race, marathons, half marathons, all the way down to 5Ks, and even shorter sometimes, road miles and stuff. People are wearing this type of shoe. So we've launched in basically 2 colorways and doing great. So this is sort of more your everyday training shoe. Gotcha. Also has a thicker midsole, insole than you normally would see. So you're getting just a lot more of this, the foams these days are very responsive and they feel great. And so putting as much of that right underfoot as possible. So this is the Elliott Runner and that's the Elliott Racer. And got a few more coming, a few more shoes in the works.
Lifestyle shoes in the works in mind? Or?
Hopefully, yeah, we'll get there. We got a few performance sort of buckets we want to cover and then some pure lifestyle, yeah. Boston, I'd like to say, is for, it does have the oldest marathon in the world. Boston Marathon was 1897. Has an incredible running history, heritage, has an incredible university, post-collegiate scene. So all of that makes it really a little bit the heart and soul of the running community. I would say even globally, Boston is pretty special. If you're an amateur runner, getting a Boston qualifier and being able to run this race is really special for a lot of people. Yeah. But the also reality is I lived here, and so it was easy to make Boston our home. But for sure there was some inspiration there. And Newbury Street, as you mentioned, it is still the prime shopping destination. But also for us, one of the things that we do is we have a lot of community activation. So we have 3 runs a week that leave from the store. And Back Bay, where we are, happens to be very conveniently located for getting to the Charles River, which is beautiful running. We have access to the tracks. We can hop on the Emerald Necklace, get over to Jamaica Plain. And so it's just a great starting point for running. One of the things we do, we've been doing since that pop up in 2015. Every year we make a commemorative poster for all of the marathon majors. And after the race, we set up tables upstairs, people come in and we hand stamp their time. So it's just a really nice experience. They're free. Usually the line is down the street. And so yeah, people come in. It's a great interaction. How'd the race go? You hear their story, hand stamp their time, roll it up, and it's just a great keepsake. And we see on Instagram, or people send these to us, of, you know, people with their whole wall framed with our posters from all the different races and stuff. So just a really cool keepsake. So the Elliott Lounge was it was a bar about 2 blocks away on Mass Ave, but it was really the runner's bar in Boston. So the bartenders, a famous bartender was Tommy Leonard. He's since passed away. But it was the bar that, like, all the Bruins, all the Patriots, Celtics, they would all go there, but it was a lot of runners that worked there. And Boston Marathon weekend, it was like the place to go. It shut down in 1996. So when we opened the store, we wanted to pull a little bit of that legacy back. And so this is the sign. It's not that we recreated the sign. And then upstairs, behind the bar, Tommy Leonard would always hang the flag of the Boston Marathon winner each year. And so, you know, this was a famous photo of him behind the bar, happened to have these flags in the background. And so we just tried to recreate that a little bit when we built the space. And on Boston Marathon weekend, we do serve beer here. And so people can come in and grab a beer and, or whatever they'd like. So yeah. Yeah, this is, you know, primarily our community space. So when we do those 3 runs a week, this is where everyone gathers. Behind that curtain there, we have lockers, foam rollers, you know, whatever the case may be. Upstairs, the floor above us, we actually sublease to a massage chiropractor, you know, physio. And so people can also get treatment upstairs. So, you know, this sort of is more for the gathering and meeting spot. Of course, we can flex it to do more retail if we need to, but it's really a spot for people to be able to come in, kind of sweaty, not be down on the retail floor, hang out, congregate. So yeah, just a little bit different vibe up here. This was my one splurge. I love video games, so I really wanted to have an old school arcade game in the space.
I've never seen this one before. What is this?
Yeah, this is Track and Field. It actually has like a few different versions on it, but it's the classic one where, like, you have to go like this to run fast. Yeah. 1988, that one came out.
Wow.
So we have, you know, books, a lot of like famous running books. We have different mementos. I was fortunate enough, I worked with Usain Bolt for a really long time while I was at Puma. So that's a signed spike from, this was the spike he wore 2009 at the World Championships when he broke the world record. That's actually not the world record spike, but that is the model that he wore. You know, some of the most famous runners. Bobby Gibb was the first woman to ever run the Boston Marathon. Her story is actually not well known because the following year, there was another woman that was pulled off the course by the race director. It's a very iconic photo. So everyone assumed she was the first woman, but it was actually Bobby Gibb. She's also a sculptor and a painter. So she made this sculpture for us, which is a trophy that we award to, there's this famous tradition from the Elliott Lounge. The first person to finish the Boston Marathon and then get back to the lounge was like celebrated. So we kept that tradition too, called First to the Track House. So we literally have people that run the Boston Marathon, jump the fence, and still run to try to be the first one. So we have everyone's times and names up here from all the different years. And then Bobby made the statue, the trophy for those folks. So it's just a really cool, I don't think this is, yeah, no, that doesn't have it. The winner gets a robe that says First to the Track House on the back. And so they usually hang out in it all day and people are like, you were the first. Yeah. So it's just a nice tradition to keep going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got the Ivy League there? Shout out the Ivy League.
Yeah, I found these on eBay, man, like in 2012, 13 when I was me neither, man. I don't know. I thought that was funny more than anything else. So thanks for visiting. If you find yourself on Newbury Street, come visit us, 285 Newbury Street in Boston.